The morning sky over Washington, D.C. was clear and blue when everything changed forever. Admiral Jake Morrison was drinking his coffee in his office at the Pentagon when the alarm started screaming. Every screen in the building lit up with red warnings. Something massive had appeared in Earth's orbit without any warning. Jake dropped his coffee cup and ran to the main command center. Officers were shouting reports and pointing at the giant screens that showed radar readings. What they saw made no sense. A ship the size of a small city was floating above Earth. It was dark and smooth, with strange curves that hurt to look at for too long. "How did it get there?" Jake demanded. "Where did it come from?" Lieutenant Susan Baker, the radar operator, was shaking as she spoke. "Sir, it just appeared. 1 second there was nothing, then this thing was there. Our satellites show it's over 3 miles long." Jake stared at the screen. In 30 years of military service, he had never seen anything like this. The ship was clearly not human-made. The technology to build something that large and make it appear instantly was beyond anything Earth possessed. "Get me the president," Jake ordered, now. While they waited for the call to connect, more reports came in. The strange ship was being detected by every country on Earth. Radio. Telescopes were picking up energy readings that made no sense. The ship was producing more power than most small nations. President Helen Carter appeared on the secure video link within minutes. Her face was pale but determined. "Admiral Morrison, what are we looking at?" "Ma'am, we have a situation. An unknown vessel of enormous size has appeared in Earth orbit. Based on the technology required to build and operate it, we're dealing with something not from this world." Before the president could respond, every screen in the command center flickered. The normal displays disappeared, replaced by an image that made everyone in the room step back in shock. The creature on the screen was clearly not human. It stood over 8 feet tall, with smooth gray skin that seemed to shimmer in the light. Its head was larger than a human's, with no hair and eyes that were completely black. When it spoke, its voice was cold and mechanical, like a machine trying to sound alive. "Primitive beings of the third planet," the creature said, looking directly at them through the screen. "I am High Commander Vexthara of the Zephyrian Dominion. Your species has been evaluated and found useful for servitude." Jake felt his blood turn cold. The thing was talking about humans like they were animals to be trained. "You will surrender your military forces immediately," Vexthara continued. "Your governments will dissolve. Your people will accept their new role as servants to a superior species. You have 72 hours to comply with this order." The president leaned forward. "This is President Carter of the United States. We demand to know who you are and what gives you the right to make such demands." The alien's face showed something that might have been amusement. "Rights? Your species speaks of rights? We are the Zephyrian Dominion. We have conquered 47 worlds across this galaxy. We take what we require because we possess the power to do so. Your primitive weapons and crude technology amuse us," Vexthara said. "We have studied your military capabilities. Your most advanced fighters are no more threatening to us than insects. Your nuclear weapons are toys compared to our planetary bombardment systems." To prove the point, something happened that made everyone in the room realize how serious the situation was. One of Earth's military satellites simply vanished. Destroyed by an explosion, just gone. The energy readings showed it had been completely disintegrated by some kind of beam weapon. "That demonstration required less than 1% of our ship's power," the alien commander said. "Imagine what we could do to your cities if you force us to use more." General P. Collins, who had been silent until now, stepped forward. "What exactly do you want from us?" "Your species will provide labor for our expansion projects. You will mine resources on worlds we designate. Your most intelligent individuals will serve as technicians, maintaining equipment too complex for your understanding. Your leaders will be replaced by governors who serve the Dominion. And if we refuse?" President Carter asked. Vexthara's black eyes seemed to grow darker. "Then your species will be eliminated. Your cities will be reduced to ash, your oceans will boil. Your planet will become another resource extraction site, worked by species more cooperative than yours. The transmission cut off, leaving the command center in stunned silence. Jake looked around at his officers and saw the same expression on every face. Fear, anger, and determination all mixed together. "Get me every military commander we have," Jake ordered. "Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines, Space Force, get them all here now." Over the next hour, reports came in from around the world. The alien ship was visible from every continent. Other countries were receiving the same ultimatum. The United Nations was calling emergency sessions. Stock markets were crashing as panic spread across the globe. Captain Lisa Rodriguez arrived from the Space Force Command Center with more bad news. "Sir, we've tried scanning their ship with everything we have. Our sensors can barely penetrate their hull. Whatever they're made of, it's not like anything we've ever seen." "What about weapons?" Jake asked. "They have energy projection systems that make our best missiles look like firecrackers, and so there's something else. We're detecting at least 12 ships total. Most of them are smaller, but they're all larger than anything we've ever built." The meeting with the president and military leaders took place in the underground bunker beneath the White House. The room was packed with the most important people in America's defense establishment. Jake had never seen so many worried faces. "In one place, options?" President Carter asked simply. General Collins spoke first. "Ma'am, if their claims about their technology are true, conventional warfare won't work. We need to buy time, find their weaknesses. What about negotiation?" asked Secretary of Defense William Brooks. "Did you hear what that thing said?" Jake replied. "They're not interested in negotiation. They want slaves or corpses." Dr. Amanda Price, who ran the government's most classified research projects, raised her hand. "There might be another option. We've been working on some technologies that aren't public knowledge. If we can adapt them quickly enough. How quickly?" the president asked. 72 hours isn't enough. We need more time." Jake looked around the room. "Then we give them an answer that buys us time." The response was broadcast on every frequency Earth possessed. President Carter stood behind her desk in the Oval Office, looking directly into the camera. Her voice was calm but filled with steel. To the Zephyrian Dominion, "This is President Helen Carter, speaking for the people of Earth. We have received your ultimatum. We have one response: no, we will not surrender, we will not serve. We will not kneel to anyone who threatens our world. You claim to be superior, but you offer nothing but slavery and death. That is not superiority, that is tyranny. And humanity has spent its entire history fighting tyranny. If you want this world, you will have to take it. And we will make you pay for every inch." The transmission ended, and Jake knew there was no going back. Earth was going to war with an enemy that could destroy cities with a thought. But as he looked at the faces around him, he saw something that gave him hope. Nobody looked ready to surrender. The countdown had begun. The 72 hours passed like a nightmare. All around the world, people watched the skies and waited. Some prayed. Some cried. Some packed their belongings and tried to run, though there was nowhere to go. The alien ship hung in space like a dark promise of destruction. Admiral Jake Morrison had not slept in 3 days. He stood in the command center, watching the clock count down the final minutes. Every military base on Earth was on high alert. Every weapon system was armed and ready. It would not be enough, but they would fight anyway. 10 minutes remaining, Lieutenant Susan Baker announced. Her voice was steady, but her hands shook as she worked at her station. Jake activated the communication system that connected him to every military commander on the planet. "This is Admiral Morrison. All units, prepare for immediate combat operations. Remember, we are not just fighting for our countries today. We are fighting for our species." The countdown reached 0 at exactly noon Eastern Standard Time. For 30 seconds, nothing happened. The alien ship remained motionless in orbit. Some people began to hope that maybe the creatures had changed their minds. Maybe they would leave Earth alone. Then the sky caught fire. The first energy beam struck New York City. It came down like lightning, but instead of lasting for a split second, it burned for 10 full seconds. When it stopped, Manhattan was gone. The entire island had been turned into a crater of melted rock and twisted metal. 8 million people died in an instant. Before anyone could react, more beams fell from the sky. London disappeared in a flash of blue light. Tokyo was erased by a beam that turned the bay into steam. Moscow, Paris, Beijing, all gone in the first minute of the attack. Captain Lisa Rodriguez was in space aboard the USS Defiant when the bombardment started. She watched in horror as the cities below turned into spots of fire and smoke. All ships, this is Rodriguez. We have to stop them now. The human space fleet was small compared to the alien armada, but it was all Earth had. Rodriguez led 12 ships in a desperate attack on the nearest alien vessel. Their missiles and energy weapons struck the alien shields and simply vanished, like raindrops hitting a window. Our weapons are having no effect, reported Captain Tony Martinez from the USS Courage. Their shields are absorbing everything we throw at them. The alien response was swift and brutal. Energy beams reached out from their ships and touched the human vessels. The USS Defiant exploded in a ball of fire, taking Rodriguez and her crew with it. The USS Courage lasted 3 seconds longer before it too became wreckage floating in space. Within 5 minutes, every human ship in orbit was destroyed. The alien fleet moved closer to Earth, positioning themselves for the next phase of their attack. On the ground, Colonel Ben Walsh was trying to coordinate the defense of Washington, D.C., when the White House vanished in a flash of light. The Capitol building followed seconds later. The Pentagon, where Jake Morrison had been planning the defense, was turned into a smoking crater. "Command center is gone," Walsh shouted into his radio. All units switched to emergency frequencies. "We are on our own now." The aliens were not finished with their demonstration. 12 more cities died in the next hour. Every major military base was targeted and destroyed. Aircraft carriers were sunk in seconds. Nuclear missile silos were melted before they could launch their weapons. Major Chris Stone was leading a Special Forces team in Colorado when the bombardment reached his area. "Everyone into the bunkers," he ordered. "Move, move, move!" The underground facilities had been built to survive nuclear war, but they had never been tested against alien weapons. Stone's team made it to safety just as the mountain above them was hit by an energy beam. The rock melted like ice in summer, but the bunker held. "Is anyone else alive out there?" Stone called on his radio. Voices answered from around the world. The aliens had destroyed the obvious targets, but many military units had survived in hidden bases and underground shelters. The war was not over, but it was going very badly for humanity. Dr. Amanda Price was in a laboratory 300 feet underground when the attack began. She watched the destruction on screens that showed satellite feeds from around the world. Every few minutes, another city would disappear in a flash of light. "How many people are dead?" she asked her assistant, Dr. Kevin Davis. "Conservative estimate, 200 million in the first hour." "The number is climbing fast." Amanda stared at the screens. She had been working on secret weapons projects for years, but everything she had built seemed useless against this enemy. "We need to adapt our technology, find their weaknesses." "What weaknesses?" Davis asked. "They just erased London in 10 seconds. Every technology has limits. Every shield has a frequency it cannot block. We just need to find theirs." The alien ground invasion began 6 hours after the orbital bombardment. Strange ships descended from the mother vessels, carrying troops to secure the major population centers that had not been destroyed. The aliens themselves were not much larger than humans, but they wore armor that seemed to bend light around it, and carried weapons that could cut through tank armor. Colonel Walsh led the defense of what remained of Washington, D.C. His troops took positions in the ruins of government buildings and waited for the enemy to come. When the first alien soldiers appeared, Walsh gave the order to fire. Human bullets bounced off alien armor like pebbles. The aliens returned fire with weapons that turned humans into ash. Within minutes, most of Walsh's unit was dead or wounded. Fall back to secondary positions, Walsh ordered. Use the rubble for cover? The fighting was desperate and one-sided. Human weapons could barely scratch the alien armor, while alien weapons killed anything they touched. But the humans had one advantage. They knew the ground, and they were fighting for their home. Stone's Special Forces team emerged from their bunker after the bombardment passed. They found a world transformed. The mountains had been carved into strange shapes by the alien weapons. The forests were burning. The sky was full of smoke and ash. We need to find other survivors, Stone told his team. Link up with anyone who is still fighting. They moved through the devastated landscape, using guerrilla tactics to avoid the alien patrols. When they did encounter the enemy, they learned something important. The aliens were not invincible. Their technology was superior, but they could be killed with enough firepower applied at close range. Their armor has weak points, Stone reported over the radio. Joints, vision systems, power sources on the back. We can hurt them if we get close enough. The first day of the invasion ended, with most of Earth's major cities destroyed and millions dead. The alien commander, Vextara, broadcast another message to the surviving humans. Your resistance has been noted and found amusing, the alien said. You have demonstrated that your species can die bravely, but you cannot win. Surrender now, and we will allow some of you to live as slaves. Continue fighting, and we will finish what we started. The response came from an unexpected source. President Carter was dead, along with most of the government, but Vice President Robert Hayes had survived in a bunker beneath Camp David. His broadcast reached every human with a working radio. To the people of Earth, this is President Hayes. Yes, we have taken terrible losses. Yes, they have weapons we cannot match, but we are still here, we are still fighting, and we will never surrender. To the aliens listening to this broadcast, you have made a mistake. You thought you could break us with fear and destruction, but you do not understand humans. Every city you destroy makes us stronger. Every person you kill makes us more determined. You have not conquered Earth. You have awakened something you cannot control. Deep in his underground bunker, Major Stone smiled as he heard the broadcast. Around the world, in hidden bases and secret facilities, humans were beginning to organize. The first battle was lost, but the war was just beginning. The aliens had made their point. Now it was humanity's turn. 3 days after the alien attack, Major Chris Stone crouched in the ruins of what used to be Denver. The city was gone, but the mountains around it were full of hidden tunnels and secret facilities. Stone had been gathering survivors, and what he found surprised him. How many people are down there? He asked Sergeant Mike Johnson, who had just returned from scouting the underground complex. About 300 military personnel, sir, plus maybe 50 scientists and engineers. They have been working on something big? Stone followed Johnson down a hidden entrance that looked like a crack in the rocks. The tunnel led deep into the mountain, past blast doors that were thicker than tank armor. What he found inside made him stop and stare. The underground facility was huge. It stretched for miles in every direction, with laboratories, manufacturing areas, and living quarters for thousands of people. Scientists in lab coats worked alongside soldiers at computer stations. The air hummed with the sound of machinery, building something important. Dr. Amanda Price met them at the entrance. She looked tired but determined. Major Stone, we have been waiting for you. We have work to do. What is this place? Stone asked. This is Site 7, one of 12 facilities like it around the world. We built them during the Cold War, then expanded them when we realized we might face threats from space. She led him through corridors filled with equipment he did not recognize. For 30 years, we have been developing weapons and technologies that the public never knew about. We kept them secret because we were not sure they would work, and we did not want to create panic. They entered a large room where engineers were working on strange devices. One looked like a cannon, but it was made of materials that seemed to bend light around them. Another was a small device that made the air around it shimmer. The aliens think they know everything about human technology, Dr. Price explained. They studied our public military systems and dismissed them as primitive, but they never saw these. Dr. Kevin Davis, her assistant, joined them. The quantum disruption cannon can create holes in space itself. The electromagnetic pulse generator can shut down any electronic system within 50 miles. The kinetic bombardment system can drop tungsten rods from orbit with the force of nuclear weapons. Stone shook his head. If we had these weapons, why did we not use them when the aliens attacked? Because we needed to understand their technology first, Price replied. We spent the last 3 days studying the wreckage of their attacks. We analyzed their energy signatures, their shield frequencies, everything we could find. She led him to a computer station where images of alien technology filled the screens. Their shields work by bending electromagnetic energy around their ships, but every shield has a frequency it cannot block. We found theirs. The same way humans have always solved problems. We experimented, we failed, we learned, and we tried again. The aliens are more advanced than us, but they think in predictable ways. They have never faced an enemy that adapts as quickly as humans do. Meanwhile, in another hidden facility beneath the Rocky Mountains, Admiral Jake Morrison was very much alive. The Pentagon had been destroyed, but the military had backup command centers that the aliens did not know about. Morrison was coordinating with similar facilities around the world. Status report, he demanded as he entered the command center. General. Pete Collins, who had also survived the initial attack, looked up from a communications console. Sir, we have confirmed contact with 11 of the 12 hidden facilities. Sites 1 through 11 are operational. Site 12 in Australia went dark, but we think they are still working. What about our international allies? The Russians have 3 facilities still active. The Chinese have 2. The Europeans have 1 joint facility in the Alps. Everyone else is either destroyed or off the grid. Morrison studied the tactical display. So we have resources they do not know about. What can we do with them? Dr. Price believes we can adapt our experimental weapons to counter their technology. But we need time to manufacture them in large quantities. How much time? 2 weeks minimum. Maybe a month for full production, Morrison nodded. Then we give ourselves that time. What is the status of our surviving forces? Colonel Ben Walsh, who had escaped from Washington before the city was destroyed, stepped forward. Sir, we have approximately 50,000 military personnel scattered across the country. Most are in small groups, conducting guerrilla operations. The aliens control the major cities, but they have not moved into the rural areas yet. Why not? Because they think they have already won. Their commander, Vextara, is treating this like a cleanup operation. They are not taking human resistance seriously, Morrison smiled grimly. That is their mistake. What about civilian populations? Hard to estimate, sir. Maybe 100 million dead in the first attack. But there are still people hiding in small towns, farms, and wilderness areas. They are organizing into resistance groups. The next few days saw a transformation in human tactics. Instead of trying to fight the aliens directly, human forces began a campaign of harassment and sabotage. They attacked alien supply lines, destroyed communication equipment, and made life difficult for the occupation forces. Major Stone led one of these operations near the ruins of Chicago. His team had been equipped with new weapons from the hidden facilities. The electromagnetic pulse grenades could disable alien armor temporarily, giving human soldiers a chance to use conventional weapons effectively. Remember, Stone told his team as they prepared for the attack, we are not trying to win this battle. We are trying to learn how they fight and slow them down while the scientists work on better weapons. The attack was swift and brutal. Stone's team hit an alien patrol from 3 directions at once. The electromagnetic pulses disabled the alien systems long enough for the humans to close in with conventional weapons. When the alien armor was offline, bullets could penetrate it. It works, Stone reported over the radio. The pulse weapons can shut down their systems for about 30 seconds. That is enough time to kill them. Similar reports came in from around the world. Human forces were learning to fight the aliens effectively, but they were still vastly outnumbered and outgunned. The key was to avoid direct confrontation while gathering intelligence about alien weaknesses. Dr. Price was working around the clock to develop new weapons. The quantum disruption technology was particularly promising. We can create weapons that will punch through their shields like they are made of paper, she explained to Morrison during a secure video conference. How many can you build? With all our facilities working together, maybe 1,000 units in the first batch. After that, we can scale up production. That is not enough to equip all our forces. No, but it is enough to equip our best units. Quality over quantity, Admiral. We give our elite forces weapons that can kill alien ships, and we use them to capture more alien technology. The plan was risky but simple. Human forces would continue guerrilla operations while the hidden facilities manufactured advanced weapons. When they were ready, they would launch a coordinated counterattack designed to capture alien technology rather than just destroy it. President Hayes, broadcasting from his hidden bunker, addressed the surviving human population. My fellow Americans and citizens of the world, we are not defeated. Yes, we have taken terrible losses. Yes, the enemy seems unstoppable, but we are human beings. We have survived ice ages, plagues, world wars, and every other disaster this planet could throw at us. The aliens think they understand us because they have studied our weapons and our armies, but they have never studied what makes us human. They have never faced an enemy that refuses to surrender, that learns from defeat, that becomes stronger with every loss. We are preparing something they will not expect. We are not just fighting to survive anymore. We are fighting to win. In the alien command ship, Sub-Commander Kethmore was beginning to worry. The human resistance was more organized than expected. Their attacks were becoming more sophisticated, and they were using tactics that the Zephyrian military had never encountered. They are not fighting like the other species we have conquered, he reported to Vextara. Other races either surrender quickly or fight predictable battles. These humans are doing something different. Explain. They are not trying to win battles. They are trying to learn from them. Every attack teaches them something new about our technology. They are adapting faster than our combat models predicted. Vextara dismissed the concern. They are primitives with crude weapons. Let them learn. It will not matter when we finish our occupation. But deep in the mountains of Earth, in hidden facilities that the aliens did not know existed, humanity was preparing a surprise that would change everything. 3 weeks after the alien invasion began, everything changed. The date was marked on calendars across the world as Liberation Day, though the humans who fought in it called it something else. They called it the Day of Reckoning, Admiral Jake. Morrison stood in the command center deep beneath the Colorado mountains. Around him, dozens of screens showed the positions of alien forces across the globe. For weeks, they had been watching and waiting. Now it was time to strike back. All units, this is Morrison. He spoke into the communication system that connected him to human forces around the world. Operation Payback begins in 60 seconds. Remember, we are not just fighting to survive anymore. We are fighting to make them pay for every human life they took. Major Chris Stone was positioned on a hillside overlooking the ruins of Denver. His team had been equipped with the new quantum disruption weapons. The devices looked like normal rifles, but they could punch holes through alien shields as if they were made of paper. Target acquired, Stone reported. An alien patrol ship was hovering over the city, scanning for human survivors. Firing now. The quantum disruption beam hit the alien ship's shield and passed right through it. The ship's hull cracked like an egg, and the vessel crashed into the rubble below. Stone's team moved in immediately to secure any survivors and salvage the technology. First kill confirmed, Stone reported. Their shields are useless against these weapons. Around the world, similar attacks were happening at the same time. Captain Tony Martinez was leading a squadron of fighters equipped with the new weapons. They had launched from a hidden airfield in Montana and were approaching the alien fleet. In orbit. This is Martinez to all fighters. Remember, we are not trying to destroy them completely. We want to capture their ships intact so our scientists can study them. The human fighters attacked the alien fleet from 12 different directions at once. The aliens had never faced a coordinated assault like this. Their ships were designed to fight enemies that attacked in predictable patterns. The humans were doing something completely different. Martinez's fighter swooped in on an alien cruiser and fired the quantum disruption weapon. The alien ship's shields flickered and died. Before the aliens could react, Martinez fired again, this time targeting the ship's engines. The alien vessel went dead in space. Helpless. "Boarding teams, go, go!" Martinez ordered special forces. Troops in assault craft swarmed over the disabled alien ship. They had been trained for this moment, studying alien technology and learning how to operate their systems. Major Stone had trained many of these teams himself. The boarding operation was swift and brutal. The humans had no mercy for the creatures that had destroyed their cities. They moved through the alien ship like a deadly storm, killing anyone who resisted and capturing those who surrendered. "Ship secured," reported Sergeant Mike Johnson. "We have 23 alien prisoners and control of their computer systems." Dr. Amanda Price was monitoring the operation from her underground laboratory. As soon as the first alien ship was captured, she began analyzing the data that was being transmitted back to Earth. "This is incredible," she told her assistant doctor, Kevin Davis. "We are getting real-time access to their technology. Look at this power system, this navigation computer, these weapons. Can we reverse engineer it? We can do better than that. We can improve it. Human engineering is not as advanced as theirs, but we think differently. We can see flaws in their designs that they never considered." The counterattack was happening on multiple fronts. On the ground, Colonel Ben Walsh was leading an assault. On the alien base that had been built in the ruins of Washington, D.C., his troops had been equipped with the new electromagnetic pulse weapons that could disable alien armor. "Remember," Walsh told his soldiers, "they killed our friends, destroyed our cities, and threatened our families. We do not take prisoners unless they surrender completely. And even then, we show them the same mercy they showed us." The attack on the alien base was a masterpiece of human tactical planning. Walsh's forces hit the base from 6 different directions, using the rubble of the destroyed city as cover. The aliens had superior weapons, but they were not prepared for the fury of human soldiers fighting for their home. The electromagnetic pulse weapons disabled the alien armor systems, leaving the creatures vulnerable to conventional weapons. But the humans had learned something else during their weeks of guerrilla warfare. They had learned to hate. "For New York!" One soldier shouted as he fired his weapon. "For London!" Another called out, "For everyone they killed!" Walsh added, leading his troops forward. The battle was one-sided, but not in the way the aliens expected. The humans fought with a ferocity that shocked the alien defenders. They showed no fear, no hesitation, and no mercy. Within 2 hours, the alien base was in human hands. Sub-Commander Kethmer was in the main alien command ship when the reports started coming in. Human forces were attacking everywhere at once, using weapons that could penetrate Zephyrian shields. Worse, they were not just destroying alien forces. They were capturing them. How is this possible? Kethmer demanded. "Our intelligence said they had no weapons capable of threatening us. They developed new technology," his aide reported. "Something that can disrupt our shield systems. In 3 weeks? That is impossible." "The evidence suggests otherwise, sir. They are also using tactics we have never encountered. They attack from multiple directions, use their environment as a weapon, and fight with a level of aggression that our combat models did not predict." High Commander Vexthara was furious when he heard the reports. "How many ships have we lost?" 17 so far, sir. The humans are capturing them faster than we can respond. Then we will show them what real power looks like. Prepare the planet. Killer weapon. Sir, that will destroy the entire planet. We need the resources. I would rather rule over a dead world than lose to these primitives. But before Vexthara could give the order, another report came in. Human forces had captured the alien communication center in what used to be Los Angeles. They now had access to the alien command network. Dr. Price was studying the captured alien communications when she made a discovery that changed everything. "Jake, you need to see this," she called to Admiral Morrison. "What is it?" "The aliens are not just invaders. They are refugees. Their home system was destroyed by something called the Void Swarm. They have been running from planet to planet, conquering worlds to get resources to keep running." Morrison studied the data. "So they are not as powerful as they pretend to be?" "No. This fleet is all they have left. If we destroy it, their entire species dies." "Good," Morrison said coldly. "They made their choice when they attacked our world." The final phase of the counterattack began at dawn. Captain Martinez led a massive assault on the alien mothership. His squadron had been reinforced with captured alien fighters flown by human pilots who had learned to operate the alien technology. "This is for Earth," Martinez said as he approached the massive alien vessel. The mothership was defended by energy weapons that could destroy entire cities, but the human fighters were too small and too fast. They swarmed over the alien ship like angry bees, targeting specific systems with surgical precision. Martinez's fighter penetrated the mothership's defenses and landed in the main hangar bay. His boarding team moved through the ship, fighting their way to the command center. They met fierce resistance, but the humans had advantages the aliens did not expect. "They are fighting like animals," one alien soldier reported before he was killed. "No," Martinez replied, standing over the alien's body. "We are fighting like humans. And that is much worse." The command center fell after a battle that lasted 3 hours. High Commander Vexthara was captured alive, along with most of his senior staff. The alien fleet was now under human control. President Hayes broadcast the news to the world. "My fellow humans, the alien fleet has been defeated. Their ships are now ours. Their technology is now ours. And their lives are now in our hands? But we are not finished. We know now that they are not the only threat in the galaxy. There are other dangers out there, other species that might see Earth as a target, so we will not just rebuild. We will become stronger. We will take their technology and make it better. We will take their ships and build more. And we will make sure that no one ever threatens humanity again." In the captured alien command center, Admiral Morrison looked at the star charts that showed the locations of other alien species. Earth was no longer alone in the universe, but now the galaxy would learn what it meant to make humans angry. 6 months after the aliens first attacked Earth, High Commander Vexthara stood in chains before a human tribunal. The former ruler of the Zephyrian Dominion looked very different now. His gray skin was pale, and his black eyes showed something aliens were not supposed to feel: fear. Admiral Jake Morrison sat at the head of the tribunal. Around him were representatives from every nation on Earth that still existed. The courtroom was built inside the captured alien mothership, which now orbited Earth as a symbol of human victory. "You are charged with genocide," Morrison read from the document in front of him. "You ordered the destruction of 17 major cities. You killed over 300 million innocent people. You attempted to enslave the entire human species." Vexthara tried to speak, but his voice was weak. "You do not understand. We were fleeing the Void Swarm. We needed resources to survive. We had no choice." "There is always a choice," Morrison replied. "You could have asked for help. You could have traded with us. You could have told us about the threat you were running from. Instead, you chose to attack us like cowards." Colonel Ben Walsh stood up from his seat. He was now General Walsh, promoted after his successful defense of Earth. "You called us primitives. You said we were only good for slavery. What do you call us now?" Vexthara looked around the room at the human faces staring at him. Every one of them showed the same expression: cold anger. "You are more dangerous than we calculated." "We are human," said Dr. Amanda Price, who was now Earth's Director of Alien Technology Research. "We told you that from the beginning. You should have listened." The trial lasted 3 days. The evidence was clear and the verdict was unanimous. Vexthara and his senior commanders were found guilty of crimes against humanity. The sentence was death, But before the executions could take place, President Hayes made an announcement that surprised everyone. The condemned aliens will not be executed. Instead, they will spend the rest of their lives working to repair the damage they caused. They will help us rebuild our cities and teach us about the other threats in the galaxy. They do not deserve mercy, General Walsh protested. This is not about mercy, Hayes replied. This is about making them useful. Dead. Aliens cannot help us prepare for the next war. Meanwhile, Captain Tony Martinez was leading the first human expedition to explore the galaxy beyond Earth. His ship was a hybrid of human and alien technology, faster and more powerful than anything either species had built alone. This is incredible, Martinez reported as his ship approached the former Zephyrion home system. The entire star system is gone. Not destroyed, just ... empty, whatever the void swarm is, it erases everything it touches. Dr. Kevin Davis, who was part of the expedition, studied the sensor readings. There are traces of other civilizations here. Dozens of them. The void swarm has been destroying species for thousands of years. Any sign of survivors? Negative. We are the first living beings to enter this system since it was consumed. The discovery confirmed what the humans had learned from captured alien records. The galaxy was full of dead civilizations, all consumed by something called the Void Swarm. The Zephyrians had been running from it for generations, conquering other worlds to get the resources they needed to keep moving. Back on Earth, humanity was rebuilding faster than anyone thought possible. The alien technology was being integrated with human engineering to create something new. Cities were being reconstructed with materials that could survive planetary bombardment. Weapons were being built that could destroy entire fleets. Major Chris Stone, now Colonel Stone, was training the first generation of human space marines. These soldiers were equipped with armor that combined alien shielding with human durability. Their weapons could punch through any known defense. Remember, Stone told his trainees, we are not just soldiers anymore. We are humanity's sword and shield. When we meet other alien species, they need to understand that humans are not prey. The training was brutal, designed to prepare humans for warfare in space and on alien worlds. The soldiers learned to fight in zero gravity and toxic atmospheres, and against enemies with technology they had never seen before. Sergeant Mike Johnson, now a lieutenant, was part of the training program. Sir, what if we encounter aliens who want to be peaceful? Then we will be peaceful too, Stone replied. But we will be ready to fight if they change their minds. The galaxy has learned that attacking Earth is a mistake. We want to make sure they remember that lesson. Dr. Price was working in her new laboratory aboard the captured alien flagship. The ship had been converted into a mobile research station, capable of traveling to other star systems to study alien technology and look for threats. We have made incredible progress, she reported to Admiral Morrison during their weekly meeting. The quantum disruption technology is now standard on all our ships. The electromagnetic pulse systems can disable entire fleets. And we have developed something the aliens never had. What is that? Adaptability weapons. Systems that can analyze enemy technology in real time and automatically adjust to counter it. If we encounter the Void Swarm or any other threat, our weapons will learn how to fight them while the battle is happening. Morrison nodded. How many ships do we have now? 57 combat vessels, all equipped with hybrid technology. Plus construction facilities that can build more. We can have a fleet of 200 ships within a year. And crew? That is the interesting part. We are not just training humans anymore. Some of the surviving Zephyrians have volunteered to serve in our fleet. They want revenge against the Void Swarm as much as we want to protect Earth. The first joint human-alien crew was assigned to the USS Vengeance, a ship built specifically to hunt down the Void Swarm. Captain Martinez commanded the vessel, with a crew that included both humans and reformed Zephyrians. It feels strange. Martinez confided to his first officer, Commander Lisa Parker, who had survived the initial invasion. 6 months ago, we were trying to kill each other. Now we are working together. The enemy of my enemy is my friend, Parker replied. Besides, they have seen what happens when humans get angry. I think they prefer to be on our side. The USS Vengeance was the first human ship to actively hunt for the Void Swarm, using captured alien star charts. Martinez led his crew into the outer rim of the galaxy where the swarm was last detected. What they found changed everything. Admiral Morrison, this is Martinez. You need to see this. The transmission from the Vengeance showed something that made everyone on Earth stop what they were doing and pay attention. The Void Swarm was not a natural phenomenon. It was a weapon, built by an ancient civilization that had died out millions of years ago. It is a self-replicating system, Dr. Davis reported from the ship. It consumes entire star systems and uses the material to build more of itself. It has been growing for eons, and it is heading toward the center of the galaxy. Toward Earth, Morrison realized. Toward everything. If we do not stop it, it will consume every living world in the galaxy. President Hayes addressed the world. Once again, but this time the message was different. My fellow humans, we have won our war against the Zephyrians. We have proven that humanity cannot be conquered or enslaved. But now we face a greater challenge. There is a force in the galaxy that destroys everything it touches. It has killed billions of civilizations over millions of years. It is coming toward us, and we are the only species left with the power to stop it. The aliens who attacked us were running from this threat. They were wrong to attack us, but they were right to be afraid. Now we must decide. Do we run like they did, or do we stand and fight? I know what humans will choose. We do not run from bullies. We do not hide from monsters. We face them, we fight them, and we destroy them. The galaxy is about to learn something new about humanity. We are not just survivors, we are not just fighters. We are the species that says no to extinction and makes it stick. In the captured Alien Command Center, now converted to Earth's Galactic Defense Headquarters, Admiral Morrison looked at the star charts showing the approaching Void Swarm. It would reach Earth's sector of the galaxy in less than 10 years. 10 years to prepare. For the biggest war in galactic history, he said to General Walsh, who was now his second in command. Is that enough time? Morrison smiled, and it was not a nice smile. The aliens thought 3 weeks was enough time to conquer us. They learned they were wrong. Now the Void Swarm is going to learn the same lesson. What makes you so confident? Because we are human, and humans do not lose wars. We just take longer to win them. Across the solar system, construction began on the largest fleet in galactic history. Ships that could fight the Void Swarm, weapons that could destroy ancient technology, and crews trained to face the impossible and find a way to win. The galaxy was about to discover why you should never threaten humanity's home. Because humans do not just fight back, they fight back harder than anyone thought possible.